So we are sitting in our cabin, and it was back when things were really stringent. Don't come around the facilitators, because they need space and time to think about how much money we can't pay them. And Roger Bonaire Agard was in the cabin with us, and we're just talking, and we look out the window, and Nicholas Nichols and Gabe are walking towards our cabin. They're just walking. And we're like, what y'all doing? We're going from cabin to cabin looking for food. We just had enough money to get here, okay? And we starving. So we were like, well, come inside and get some food. Here's this, here's that, whatever. Roger was like, yeah, y'all here, but nigga don't die. That's our favorite time. Because y'all was just here. Just to get here. And so that's why I love my baby so very much. And he, yes, you know what, you should have done this. When we talk about what Jay was just talking about coming here and fighting against imposter syndrome, this same man fed people on this trip. Because don't die being here. This same person who was starving in his cabin his first year fed some people out of his cabin this year. Isn't that awesome though? Isn't that family though? Y'all please give it up for Gabriel Ramirez.
So, there's a lot of favorite moments. Right? Meeting Monifa in Harlem, and then being like, this is what she got you to come out here. I'm like, okay. And I think it was 2014. I was still in high school. I was 20 years old. I was still in high school. I had like a 6th grade reading level. And like, I ain't know shit about anything, y'all, like whatsoever. To the point that in every class I was in, if someone said anything, I was like, what that mean? And that happened so many times in every workshop. And I remember in a workshop, I was like, yo, in my head, because I felt like people were gonna look at me like I was dumb. But not because of the space, but it's because of everything I've been through. So I held it in. And then Nikki Finney came and gave a keynote. And talking about how easy it is to not show up. Like Nikki was going through some real family stuff. And they pulled up and gave this bum-ass keynote and stayed and gave a Q&A. And I remember being like, yo, so I'm in high school and shit. I don't know nothing. I got a question though. We were reading this poem. It was by Patrick Rosal in Bone Shepherds about him having to step up and be the man in the household to the point where he almost had to be like, you know what I mean, his mother's everything. And he talked about being a child and wearing a double Windsor tie and having a fat sandwich. I was like, that's no little kid shit, dude. Little niggas don't tie double Windsors. You know what I mean? Little niggas don't have fat sandwiches. It's like ham, cheese, maybe mayonnaise. You know what I mean? Peanut butter, jelly, maybe bread, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's not a fat sandwich, yo. But I was like, only, that's like some construction worker shit. That's I'm in the office for 10 hours. That's some other grown shit that this child had to experience. And I was like, we didn't talk about that. I was like, we didn't talk about that in the class, and I just want to know what you think. She was like, I think you're a genius. And I was like, what? And there were people like, yeah, you is. And there were other people like, who the fuck are you? And she was like, it's that attention to detail that's gonna make you different than everybody. It's that attention to detail that's gonna make you and your voice what it is. And it won't compare. And I talk about that attention to detail because it wasn't just me who almost didn't make it. Robalou Gibson almost didn't make it. Monifa found somebody to pay my whole way out here. So I was in high school, I was like 19, 20, I had no money. And they found a way for me. And I know when we're talking about poems and attention to detail, we're looking at our laptops, right? We're looking at our papers. We're like, we got this pen in our hand or typing, whatever. But on that first night when me and Rabalou got here, we was talking about how crazy it was. Because Rabalou got the invite pretty much the night before, and he found a way here. And we were standing outside our cabin, and in 10 minutes we saw 3 shooting stars. Living in New York, you don't see stars, right? I saw 3 shooting stars, and I thought that was some movie shit. And we were like, yeah, we're supposed to be here. So I just want to remind y'all, like, when y'all paying attention to detail, don't forget to look up. Don't forget to look up. Don't forget to, like, be thankful to your ancestors and, like, your guides and the people who had sacrificed and fought and lived for you to be here. Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And this is where I started blooming. This is where I started blooming. I'm tired of yelling, of losing my voice to prove a point, to be heard, born, male, Black, Dominican. I've been taught to take up space, but no one ever told me that I could be a garden, to be soft and smell good and bloom at volumes people usually walk past. Usually it's lavender, mango cocoa, or pink sugar oils are how people remember me, how the air became an antidote, became the search for the scent that filled their lungs with flowers, with what reminds us we too can be a home for breathing and blossoming joy. And the heart hugs that follow, they require us to hug with the left sides of our bodies so that our hearts face each other while we all take a deep breath in and exhale together. Exhaling everything that tried keeping us from being here. And this hug, this holy place that has no heaven except for the other person, for this intimacy is in no need of romance, in no need of a false future promise to one another, but the promise of this hug ending when we are both ready to release each other back into the world, back to sidewalks brimming with ghosts, and the promise of some danger. Some gardens are unlike anything you've ever seen, but you never asked what had to die for you to be this captivated. To be a garden is to take up space, hoping others will call you home. Call on rainy days too, days when clouds are all so you forget to look west, forget to think light for its time, bright and generous, now retreating into invisibility instead of staying where they feel unloved. Where I will return. To be unloved is to have been loved incorrectly. Loved enough to believe the lie of love being all I need. All the failed gods in my stomach are dead and screaming for tenderness, screaming like my father. Like my father, a garden ended at the root, at his bipolar, his depression, his alone. And I blame his absence for not letting me show him how to water himself into what heals. What kind of son am I to think what is my father's isn't mine, isn't genetic? I carry his loneliness that isn't loneliness, but the choice to ignore the world. Thank you.